Hey guys, it's Lemon here and welcome back to another Wild Horse Islands video. So if you guys have seen my latest video on the world update that is coming to Wild Horse Islands, I talked about that update. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend watching that, as this video probably won't make sense if you haven't already seen that. So make sure to go see that, but basically we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of the World Islands update that is going to be coming in March. So I asked you guys for your opinions and your feedback on this update, and so you provided really good, genuine feedback for this, including like really solid pros and cons of this update, and I was really impressed with how you guys responded. So I'm just going to be sharing with you guys the pros and cons of this update, and we're going to be talking through it, providing possible solutions to the cons of this. And yeah, hopefully this will help you guys calm down and understand what exactly is happening. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so first off, we are going to start off with the pros. And probably the biggest pro of this would be that there is going to be less lag. A lot of you guys have been struggling with lag and getting kicked out in Wild Horse Island, so this is going to help solve it. With the graphics update as well as the Stable Island Part 2 update, there has been a lot more detail in the game, and it's causing a ton of lag. And for this game to get more detailed, they're gonna have to move things to separate islands, so that is one of the pros of this. The second pro of this is that we can have more detailed islands. As of right now, the islands are relatively basic, with there basically just being trees and then some resources. With this update, each island is going to be able to be on its own server. Now, what people I don't think understand is that you can't just endlessly build on a Roblox server. There is a limit to how many assets you can put. Now, because Wild Horse Islands has so many islands, they have to spread out those assets throughout the game. So with each island being in its own server, they're going to be able to add more things to each individual island, which I'm looking forward to seeing. The third pro kind of connects with the one I just talked about, and it is that we can have more islands in game. Like I was saying before, because you can't have limitless items in the game, Trick said that he was physically unable to continue adding more islands because they were out of space in the server. They could not add more islands. So with this update, they're able to add basically a limitless amount because they can just stick each one in its own separate server to expand on them in there. So yeah, that's another pro of it, is that we can have more islands. I'm excited for that because the top island has been Volcano for a while, so I'm excited to see some new ones added. This next one can be both a pro and a con, so I will be talking about it in both ways. But for the pro part, the servers will be fuller with more people, and so it can feel more alive. Like, honestly, I think it'd be kind of fun to like be running around an island and seeing like a lot of people there, and you can hang out and talk about that specific island. However, there is a lot of con about this one, which, like I said earlier, I'll be talking about in a moment. Okay, so this next one is, I guess, just kind of a bridge between the pros and the cons, but it's just been a frequently asked question, and it's that, will private servers still work? The answer is yes, you will still have a private server. So if you buy a private server, you will have all of the different servers and realms in that one private server. So if you're in your private server and you go to a different island, you will still be alone on that island. In the game Royal High, I have gotten a private server before, and I can teleport to any place I want within that private server and still be by myself. So no, if you go to a different island in your private server, it will not just stick you in a public one. You will still be alone in your private server. I am just confirming this because a ton of people were confused, so I hope that this clears it up. Private servers will still work just as they do normally. You'll be by yourself. Alright, so now we are going to be getting into the cons of this update coming. So the first con, and the one that I think people have been most concerned about, is the fact that there will be a lot of people on all of the islands, and therefore the horses can just get stolen and snatched up really quickly. People don't want to have to fight for resources and horses and things like that, and that is the thing that people are most worried about. So people have actually offered a couple solutions to this, and that being that each player sees their own specific horses. So if you were to see like a quarter horse, someone else could see like, I don't know, a thoroughbred in that same spot. So you could have like your own set of horses and resources. I don't know, that could be a possible solution. Another thing that I think that the Wild Horse Island developers could possibly do is basically just expand the islands and make them bigger, considering that there's going to be more people on them. And they're going to be in their own server. I don't see why they couldn't just stick them all, or just make it bigger, and add more spawns for the horses, increase the spawn rates. So they said that they are figuring this out at the moment, so nothing's confirmed on how that is going to work, but a lot of people were upset over this. And then this brings me to the next con, which is private servers. So with this update, private servers are going to become insanely handy now. Like if you want to basically be alone, you have to get a private server because all of the islands are going to be filled. This is what a lot of people are upset about, is because you're really going to need a private server if you want to get any good horse hunting done, any island unique hare hunting done, because everything is just going to be snatched up. And that is what a lot of people have been upset about. So a possible solution to this is, honestly, I think at the beginning of this update release, like maybe for the first like month or so, Trick should just make the private servers free so that people are able to adjust to this. And then after the old players have kind of adjusted, then he can add a price for the private servers back up. I think that would help everyone like calm down and adjust to this if he does that. And also maybe have like a discounted price for the private servers at least. They currently cost 50 Robux, and not everybody has Robux or wants to spend Robux on that. And this is just like a big problem in the community. Like a lot of people are upset about the fact that private servers are going to become heavily needed. The next con we're going to be talking about is the fact that if you want to go on one island and your friend wants to go on the other, you're not going to be on the same server, and a lot of people find this an issue and are upset about this because not everyone wants to remain on the same island at all times, and then if you switch servers you'll be in a whole new set of people and things like that. Now obviously your friend can still join you if you're on the island, but you would need to be on the same island. You can't just, be on different islands. So there are some possible solutions to this, however I'm not quite sure. One person suggested there being a global chat where you can have a chat across multiple servers, I guess. I don't really know how this would work though. I feel like that would kind of be difficult, but maybe they could add a feature where you can chat with friends. Like I know Royal High has like this cell phone feature where you can basically chat any of your friends that are in a different realm. You can just click on your cell phone button and you can just chat with friends who are at different places. So they could do that. Another thing that they could do is they could group some of the islands. So instead of having one on each server, what they could do is they could group a couple of them. That seems to be a solution that people seem to be all right with. So for example, they could have volcano, lunar, and jungle all on one server. They could have like blizzard, forest, and desert all on one server, and they could just group them because Trick said that there's 12 main islands at the moment, and 12 splits by 3 pretty easily, so they could have 4 servers with a bunch of different islands on each one. That seems to be a solution that people would like. The next con that some people are upset about is that it's going to be slightly more annoying to travel places. It's not going to be much annoying, honestly. As a player of Royal High, like, it doesn't take that long to get from server to server. It takes like a few extra seconds, but all in all, like, it's not too bad, but some people are upset that it's just going to be not as convenient as it was, which is completely understandable. So it may take just a little longer to get from island to island. This can also be a problem with questing. If you need to go to an NPC, it might just take a little longer to get there. But yeah, that's another con. The next con is that existing features will need to be adjusted. You know, the rare horse for sale thing, for example. In the chat, it tells you when a rare horse is for sale on a certain island. They're going to need to adjust that and figure out a way to have that. I hope that they don't remove that feature, as it's pretty useful. Maybe they'll just have it per specific island, like they'll just say there's a rare horse for sale or there's 2 rare horses for sale, like when you're just on that specific island. However, that does make it more difficult if you're specifically hunting for rare horses and you can't just go from island to island. So that is another con that people have been upset about, is just some of the features are going to need to be adjusted. And then finally, trading will also become less convenient, as you will need to specifically go to the trading hub. You cannot just trade with a player on that island. You will have to go to the trading hub. So a lot of people find this annoying, as you'll have to go to a whole separate server, but it can also be a good thing, as you can easily just find people who want to trade, so you can better find trades. There is also a system like this in Royal High, and honestly it makes it pretty easy to find trades, because you can just keep rejoining and finding new trading servers. So it makes it a lot easier to find trades, but at the same time it can be more annoying if you want to offer for something and you're not on the trading hub. So a solution to this could be they could add a feature where you can follow a player into another realm, like follow their teleport. Because if you don't want to friend the person, or you can't friend the person, you're not going to be able to go to the trading hub with them if you're on another island. Royal High also has this feature. If you get a high enough level, you can follow players into their portal and go to the same place and get in the same server as them. So they could add a feature similar to that to fix this. I'm not really sure if they're going to do that, though. Most likely not. But yeah, that's just a possible solution. So anyways, I think that wraps up my comparison of the pros and the cons to this. I believe that the cons all have possible solutions that could be done to fix this, and all in all, I think that this update is for the better. Like, I think it's a good thing that they are doing this, as we can get more in the game, and I already went over all the pros. But yeah, so anyways, I hope that this video helped you guys out. I hope that you are feeling a bit more comfortable with this. It's not going to be that bad. You know, we can't really judge it until it's out, so we will have to stay tuned. It's coming in March, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more Wild Horse Islands content, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye, everybody.